Recording now.
You're tapping in with EDM Unplugged Podcast. We're here with GolfClap, and the question we want to ask you on today's show is, how do you feel house music has evolved in the past 10 years?
Specifically 10 years. So now we're talking...
Past decade,
2010 to 2020, because we were just talking before the show started about more what was happening from 2000 to 2010. So I guess we got to think about what exactly was happening in 2010. Specifically, I think maybe what I would say my most fond recollection or my most steady recollection of 2010 stuff versus now is that there was still quite a lot of the, disco samples, which is actually kind of making a little bit of a comeback right now, but it's, there was a lot more choppy sampled disco stuff, cut samples being used then versus, where we were also just talking about where tech house is at now, right? And kind of more how house music's turning into more EDM, not in a bad way, but it's, getting a wider audience, being more broadly recognized. I don't know.
Well, one thing is that, Spotify actually did exist 10 years ago, but it wasn't anything like it was now. And house is being made for streaming platform a lot of times. It's also being made for festivals and less so for clubs. So I guess the target audience is different. And there's big, lots of the big artists now still could make a house music song or something. That wasn't something that happened before in the last few years or so. It's no matter how far away from house music you are in EDM, you can still make a house or a tech house song now, and probably have.
That's probably, people are using that as the cool card right now.
Or at the very least, you found cool people that make house and then hired them to remix your song so that sound can be associated with your name.
I feel like probably in the past 2 years, tech house has really blown up. And now that I feel like maybe it's going to be becoming a little bit more mainstream and it's dying down a little bit, what do you guys think about that?
Tech house is such a wide range of a term. You can say almost anything fits in that. A lot of the stuff that they're calling tech house, I can't say it's not tech house. It's just not what I think of. For tech house, for me, I think of Jamie Jones, Solardo, kind of
Pat Topping,
Green Velvet, that kind of stuff.
But to what Brian was saying though is that because of things like Spotify and because of music being played at big festivals now, that underground tech house, it's more minimalistic, less vocally. That's not going to really ever translate as well onto the streaming platforms. So it's going to, because of the style of music it is, I believe, remain underground quite a lot longer,